This tutorial will cover reviewing billing and finalizing an exam on the browser. Following this tutorial, you will be able to review billing and override if needed, review the I-code calculation, review the E&M code calculation, finalize from the Visit Note overview, finalize from the Home tab, and create an amendment. Once a visit has been documented, the Visit Overview will provide all information regarding how the visit will be billed. In the Billing section, the CPT codes will be listed. This will be their procedure and diagnosis codes that were generated in the ocular exam room. We have the 92014, the 92310 for the contact lens fitting, as well as the refraction code. Procedure name will list plans that we documented that possibly may have a fee attached with them. Here we're seeing the contact lens assessment. This is 0 because I did not document the fee within the plan, because those fees will generate in your practice management system. The doctors will have the ability to use the override suggested billing code and override bill for each visit. Technicians will have this access if the preference is turned on in administration. If your technicians don't have the billing preferences turned on, they will not see the override suggested billing code or override bill on the visit overview. The override suggested billing code allows you to pick from a drop-down menu the CPT code you would prefer to bill. So if I don't like the 92014 and maybe I wanted to change that to 92012, I could select that here and override, or I could also choose no E&M visit. And then I would choose override code. The bill by time you won't be using. Override bill is basically the CMS form. You can reorder the diagnosis codes. You can use the clear buttons on the end of each line to remove any diagnosis codes. You can also click and add in diagnosis codes manually. This will not affect your visit note, just what will be going on to the practice management system for billing. I could also change the order of the CPT codes. I could also use the clear buttons on the end of each of the lines to clear them out, or again, I could manually add in additional CPT codes. If for some reason we did not want to bill, for example, the refraction for today, we could choose the clear on the 92015. Again, that's just going to override the billing that's going to your practice management. It will not remove the refraction from your visit note. You can also add or remove modifiers here as well. Once you've made your changes, you would choose to override. In the billing section, there is a box labeled 99214 and another that says 92014. These are actually buttons. The system will automatically default to the I code if the documentation has met the criteria for coding. However, if this were a medical visit, I could change the coding to the 99214 by selecting this button. The dollar amounts that we see here are not what your practice is going to be reimbursed. This is the national average for reimbursement for these codes. So when I select 99214, the 92014 changed to the 99214. To change it back, we can just simply click on the 92014 button. At the bottom of the Visit Note overview is the I-code calculation section. It shows that we've accomplished a 92014 for billing. The sections below will let you know if you've met the criteria needed for that specific I-code. Evaluate complete visual system. If you did a dilated exam and you marked pupils motility visual field normal in the vision exam, this will default to yes. If it says no, it is possible you forgot to do the marked pupils in the vision exam, or this is a non-dilated exam. new condition or existing condition with a new problem. This will show an impression here if you documented an impression as a new or existing diagnosis with a new problem. This information pulls when you select a classification for the impression in the ocular exam room. Initiate or continue diagnostic and treatment programs. If a follow-up plan or any diagnostic and treatment is documented, you will get credit for this. History is the chief complaint and review of systems. General medical observations. When selecting an exam set under Perform Exam, the system will automatically default the appearance, orientation, and mood of your patient to normal. This should default to yes. Gross visual fields will default yes if you chose the mark pupils, motility, and visual field as normal in the vision exam, and this section is pertaining to the visual field. Basic sensory motor will default yes if you chose the mark pupils, motility, visual field in the vision exam, and this is pertaining to motility. External adnexa is defaulted within the exam set. Ophthalmoscopy will default yes if you did a dilated examination with dilated discs and fundus, which is required for a comprehensive code. If you did a non-dilated exam, this will be set to no. The E&M CPT code selection will provide the justification for the 99 procedure code. We documented 5 HPI elements within the chief complaint. We documented 2 systems under review of systems, 1 history for the patient family social history, 15 exam elements, which 5 of those came from the vision exam, and medical decision making is made up of 3 parts. Those are problem points, data points, and level of risk. Typically for optometry and ophthalmology, problem points and level of risk are the higher components. Problem points come from various areas in the ocular exam room, choosing a diagnosis and picking whether it's new or documenting the status of an existing diagnosis. Level of risk is determined by 3 separate factors, which are presenting problems, diagnostic procedures, and management options. Presenting problems are the diagnoses that are selected, and when multiple diagnosis codes are selected for a visit, this will increase the level of presenting problems. Diagnostic procedures are credited to level of risk when you choose a plan for a diagnostic test such as automated perimetry or OCT. Most diagnostic tests in optometry and ophthalmology will only count for minimal level of risk. Management options are credited to level of risk when you choose a specific plan that documents some treatment such as treatment regimen or the decision tab in counseling for refractive diagnoses. There are several ways a visit can be finalized. From the Visit Overview screen, you can select the Finalize Visit button on the Actions tab. You can also finalize a visit when you're viewing your visit note. You can select the Finalize Visit icon here on this Action tab. You can also finalize a visit from the Home tab on the browser. Once a visit is finalized, it is locked and no changes can be made to that visit. Once you select the Finalize Visit, an acknowledgement window will open, and this is where you would then select to finalize the note. The visit note will then open. This visit can be printed, or they can also access it through the patient portal. When finalizing the visit, the charges and RXs will automatically be sent to the practice management system. We can scroll through and see all the visit note information on the View Visit Note area. If I go to the Encounter form, this is going to show me all of the justification for the billing, so it lists all the diagnosis and procedure codes. The View Bill is just showing us a CMS form completed. The claim forms will be filed through your practice management system. View RX will show if any therapeutic RXs were prescribed for this patient in the ocular exam room. You can print RXs from here. View orders and view pathology requests you will more than likely not use. The View Image Interpretation is a separate report for any diagnostic tests that you performed. View Handout is going to show all of the counseling statements that were documented within the ocular exam room. And Patient Education provides links to a script guide that will explain to the patient any diagnoses or medications they are taking. If you click on any of the little blue bubbles, it will actually open up into a document explaining to the patient. So here we see a script guide explaining what blepharitis is for our patient. The patient chart will show the visit as finalizing and then will show a final status. The Hide from Portal hyperlink means the patient will have visibility of this visit when they log into their portal. If I want to hide this visit from the patient, I can click here where it says Hide from Portal, and that will then change to Show in Portal. So once a visit is finalized, I can't make any changes to that either. I can, however, create an amendment to that visit, and this can be done from the Home tab. On the Home tab, there's two ways a visit can be finalized. A group of visits can be finalized in a batch. Click the checkbox to the left of Date, and all the preliminary visits will be selected. You can then select the Finalize Selected Notes icon at the top. The same acknowledgement window will open as we saw on the patient's visit, and we could choose to finalize these notes here. If you prefer to select multiple visits to finalize, simply check the box to the left of each of the visits that you would like to finalize, and then choose the Finalize Selected Notes. And again, the acknowledgement window will open. Once a visit is finalized, I cannot make any changes to that visit. I can, however, create an amendment for that visit. So here on the Home tab, I can enter in filters to search for my finalized visit. So under my note status, I have final, and I've applied my filters. Below, I have a list of finalized visits. I can locate the patient that I need to add the amendment to, and under the Action column, I can click on the blue hyperlink labeled Amend. Here, I'm going to provide a title and the detailed information in the note body. And then I'm going to choose to save. We're then automatically taken to that patient's chart. And if we were to select that finalized chart, the first thing that we're going to see is that amendment that we created. So here we're seeing the amendment details. It's showing who entered the information and it's time-stamped. And if we scroll down, we then will go into the visit details for that visit. You can add as many amendments as needed to a finalized visit. Thank you for listening. We hope you found this tutorial useful. Please visit our support community to view additional tutorials.